I didn't know you had to actually do that. I will.
Actually, I think it does. I think it automatically goes somewhere in my computer, but if I don't name the file, I'll have a really hard time finding it later.
Okay. I'll remind you.
All right. Cool beans. Well, let's get started, and we'll record. I'm recording, so we can always pass this on to folks who couldn't make it. So first of all, I just want to thank you guys for taking time to make time for the call tonight. I know it was kind of last minute. Amanda and I have been putting our heads together, and she's going to talk in a minute about what's so special about this group and you ladies that are on the line tonight. But just to give you a little bit of background, one of the things that Amanda and I have done is we have sat down and looked through our back office and assessed who are who is our highest potential, biggest business centers, most engaged people on our team, and who can we pull together and rise above the bar and create new exceptional leaders on the team. You guys both know that Amanda and I are both going to be popping out babies pretty soon. It's going to be pretty life-changing, as Elisa can who's not on the line. But you guys are powerful. All of you are incredibly powerful. Whether you know it or not, you have huge influence, and just you have huge teams. You have massive teams. Whether you're manager or you're exec right now, your business centers are booming, and you have huge potential. And every single one of you on the line tonight has the opportunity to qualify for the summit before the end of the year, or Top Achievers, which Jen is qualifying for this week.
Yay! And you already qualified, right, Melissa?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to announce you ladies. So I'm excited. Oh my God. Okay, so fun. Love it.
But so where this spurred from is, and Jessica's going to jump on the line in a little bit, but it originated with me digging through my business center, and Amanda's like, look, let's work together and let's put our leaders together. We share, we have this massive team with huge momentum, and we want to support you and rise you up as leaders. And that's what the purpose of the call tonight. And so I want to turn it over to Amanda, because I definitely want to give Amanda some time to speak to all of you guys as well. But I just wanted you to get kind of a perspective of where this stemmed from. It stemmed from us identifying who are our high potential leaders, who has huge potential, who do we want to pour into, who's our top 20 or top 20%, and you guys are there. So I'm passing the baton to you, Amanda.
Yeah, awesome. Well, I'm really excited. I'm just looking at all of our names here and faces, and some not faces, but numbers. And you guys are all definitely leaders, and you are all people that have shown us that you want this business. And it's just a matter of really being leaders and having your team follow. And Melissa and I were talking, and we're like, we're going to freaking max out our business centers. And I know, I'm just looking at faces on here. I know there's people that are coming with us. All of you are. Mm-hmm. And we have made that decision, just like you guys on this line. You guys have all made the decision that you're going to do this business, right? So we want to see you guys duplicate where we are times 10, right? And I remember when I first started to quote unquote grow a team, and it made me nervous. I never wanted to do calls by myself. I wanted to always lean on Renee. I was like, no one's going to listen to me. I don't even know what I'm doing. And then before I knew it, Renee was like, you got to just go. And you guys have heard me talk about this before, but once you really step into your power, and it's all about your posture. And whoever, I know Elisa, Melissa, McDonald were on our fast track to executive call tonight, and I'm really fired up from that. But Rachel, and I can't pronounce her last name. She's on a different team, doesn't matter. But she's like, it's all about your posture and making that decision. And so I think some of us may be like, oh, I don't know, I can't be a Melissa. I can't be a Jen. I can't be Amanda. But guys, everyone can. So it's just a matter of really stepping out of your comfort zones. And once you do that, and you do your first group call with maybe your team of 3, and then you see that massively start to grow, you start to fake it till you make it. And before you know it, you're like, I'm a leader, damn it. So our goal is really wanting you guys to believe and own that you are all leaders. Everybody on this call is a freaking leader. So we're going to kind of just set the stage for what that really looks like. Because like I said, we want to take you guys with us and we want to see you exceed us. That's that's the fun part about this. So we want you guys to duplicate what we're doing and then some, and we want to really give you guys the tools on how to do that. So Melissa, do you want to kind of take it to the next step? Since I know we're still waiting for Jessica. We can just kind of just sandwich her in whenever she gets on.
Yeah, whenever she jumps in, she jumps in. And so just so you guys know, her daughter's first day of school is tomorrow, and her husband's out of town. And she's so sweet, and she adores you guys and thinks so highly of this team that she's still going to jump on the call tonight to talk to us. So just so you guys know that. Okay, so what Amanda and I wanted to do over the next couple of minutes is we wanted to run through some bucket items that we feel like are critical to leadership. And it's not that you guys don't know this, and a lot of you are executing this, and you guys have different levels of leadership within your own business centers right now. And some of you are have brand new teams that you're growing, and some of you have been growing teams for quite some time. But this is really a call to action for every single one of you, because you have such huge potential and opportunity within your business centers. So we were going to run through like 3 or 4 key buckets of leadership, if you're up for the challenge. And then we're going to have kind of a call to action at the end to kind of tie a little bow around all of it. So we're going to, cover a couple of buckets and get into some details within those buckets, but then, let us close it up neatly with a bow at the end as far as, paving it forward and action items. So the first thing I was going to talk about is just your personal development. So if I had to highlight the key buckets, just so you understand where we're going, it's personal development, team development, talking biz, and getting biz. So you got to talk business if you want to grow your business, and engage. So those are the major categories that we're asking you guys to focus on. So what's a personal development? The 90-day game plan, guys. I know every single one of you is working on it right now. What we're asking you to do is, and I'm asking, if you are on my team, I would like to sit down and actually have a one-on-one with you and review, a dialogue with you on your 90-day game plan. And for Amanda's team, if you're her direct downline, right? Amanda wants to review your game plan with her. Or if you're in Amanda's downline and you have someone else within your upline between you and Amanda, definitely go to that person if they're supporting you. But the idea is that we want to hear, what are your goals? What are you trying to achieve in the next 90 days so that we can support you and hold you accountable? And the idea is, back to what Amanda said, is duplication. So we're going to do this with you, and we expect you to then do that with your team. There's a ton of folks on Make Your Mark right now who are participating in this 90-day game plan, and make sure you have identified who on your team is doing that, and set aside. They're putting time into this, and they're thinking about it, and they're committing to it, and they need your leadership to hold them accountable. So if you can set up 15 minutes with each one of the people on your team who are spending time putting pen to paper and working on a 90-day game plan, and help hold them accountable and coach them and support them, it's going to make a big difference. And then obviously the participation to fast track to exec. I mean, that's a no-brainer. I was getting trying to make a baby come this afternoon, so I wasn't on the call. I apologize, but it is top priority. As is ISO Warrior calls. You guys are being flooded with lots of information to stay engaged and stay motivated. There's so much at your fingertips. But when you're on these calls, your team sees you on these calls, and it raises a level in the expectation for them. And the last thing around personal development is getting to events. I know that we've got some stuff going on in Georgia pretty soon. We've got stuff, the Cepeda event going on here in November. And it's not just about you getting to events, and Amanda's going to talk about team development, but it's about getting your team to events as well. So I'll pass it on to you now, Amanda.
Yeah. And as much as maybe we've gone to like 4 UIAs and we're like, oh, another one. Yeah. When you go, you set that precedence and your team will follow, and it's amazing. And then all of a sudden you look at an event differently when you're looking at through someone else's eyes. And it almost inspires you even more when you see how they react. Like I remember when Melissa went to her first UIA, and honestly, Melissa will tell you that was the pivotal moment for her. Like she was like, oh, game on. And I was like, it woke me up too, so it's cool to see that. And I do want to say, that like the fast track to executive, we have the Ice Warrior calls. I just put on Residual Rockstars a calendar Elizabeth McConey put together of all of our calls, including Make Your Mark morning calls. And so we have a buffet of calls. Don't stress out if you can't make them all. All right. This is not meant to like stress you out and be like, oh my God, I don't have any free time. But here's the deal. Try. And if you can't, let's plug in and at least listen to the recording. And share your nuggets with your teams when you do listen to the recording so they see that you are engaged. But we get it. Like you should have boundaries. You should have a healthy, fun life that's not all, not that this isn't fun, but you know what I'm saying. So if you can't make it live, plug in, make it a commitment to yourself. I'm going to listen to a recording a day, Monday through Friday, and make it a priority to share that with your team so they can see you're actually doing the do. And that makes a big difference in how your team's going to follow. I promise. So that's one big thing. And, creating consultants and coaching your team to do the same. So they talked about this at this fast track to executive call tonight. When you take that pressure that I'm going to get someone or I'm going to get consultants and really just say to yourself, you know what, I'm going to help someone get healthier and I'm going to help them help a couple people. And you really step back and take that pressure off yourself to get someone. But when you just focus on, I'm going to help them become a consultant. I'm going to help them, teach them how to become a consultant. It's amazing how things start to shift. It really does go back to not being afraid to talk business, and really the more it's a common theme that I hear kind of from people at Celebration is that folks aren't talking enough business. And you guys, you don't need to be a 6-figure income earner to talk about a 6-figure income plus. That's why you leverage other people's stories. But think about who you're selling short by not at least planting that seed. Melissa wouldn't be where she is today if I didn't plant that seed. Jen Andrews wouldn't if I didn't at least tell her that's an opportunity. So, and then there's the trickle-down effect. All of you wouldn't be on the phone if you didn't know. So you have to keep that in mind. You're not going to create consultants. You might get lucky, right? We might have people that have great product experiences and they just naturally share, but you have to at least tell them there's a massive potential. And if you're not letting that trickle down to your team, then they're not going to become consultant making machines and you're not going to create a business of duplication. So it's really, really important. The last thing I want to just say is, 3-way calls. You guys are really good at them, man. And I see your team duplicating them. So keep doing that. One thing that I'm going to just be doing business 3-way calls. I think Melissa's the same way. I will be doing 3-way calls for my immediate personal enrollments right now, but I simply am stretched too thin. I think a lot of us feel that way. So we are all about empowering our teams. So I want to encourage people to we don't have to be all financially on the same leg to help each other with the product 3-way call. So I want to really help to spread that throughout our team that, hey, nudge each other, let's create a real team of cohesion and help each other. It doesn't have to be up the food chain, right, to do these 3-way product calls. But I'm always glad to help with the business calls. You just always want to try to go to the next engaged person in your upline. If they can't do it, they're uncomfortable, that you keep on kind of going up. And there was one last thing I wanted to touch on before I gave it to you, Melissa, that had to do with calls, but now I'll think about it. I'll think of it in a second.
Okay. Yeah, no, and I agree, Amanda. I couldn't agree more. And that's one thing I was going to share with you guys on the line. Many of you who are on my team, you still reach out to me to do 3-way calls. And you guys have a banging business. Like, you have been highly successful at enrolling people. You have brought in a tremendous team. And it goes back to the original commentary that Amanda made, that you guys are leaders. Like, you guys You have the capacity. You can do this. And so it sounds a little bit harsh, but part of it is kind of breaking away so that you have to step up. And I think you'll surprise yourself. Many of you, when you can't get me for a three-way call, you still nail a value pack without me on the line. It's time to pave it forward and do the same thing for your teams. It's time to spend your time supporting three-way calls with your teams because you guys are nailing it. You're totally nailing it. And I agree with Amanda, and that kind of gets into the next topic about talking business to get business. I think one of my identified gaps with my team is that folks are a little nervous talking about the business opportunity. Some of you are focused so much on the product, and part of it is I come from a huge team of clinicians. Not that all of you are clinicians, but a lot of folks on my team get so hung up on the product and the health and wellness of the products because we're passionate about it, that we lose sight of talking about the business, and then we wonder why our business isn't growing. And I love what you said, Amanda, around, like, I honestly never even would have batted an eye at this being a financial opportunity had she not mentioned it to me on our initial call. And I'm speaking to some of the leaders on my team right now, but I think some of you are really uncomfortable still when you're on a call with a prospect to mention the financial opportunity, and you think that it's just going to happen organically. And I'm here to tell you, if you want to hit 3-star, you want to hit 4-star, and you want to grow a business, you got to talk about the business. You guys are in this where you are today because you know there's a financial opportunity. You're trying to build, and you are building phenomenal businesses. So, have that posture when you're talking about the product. Make sure you spend 2 minutes validating financial opportunity because you're doing it. You're doing it, right? And the last thing I'll say on this, and I see Jessica's jumped on, so I want to let her talk. Hey, Jessica, is make sure if you're not comfortable talking biz and you're still wanting to learn and be coached on that, that's the place that I really want to support you. I'm much happier getting on the line with you and talking business than I am talking about the products, because you guys can talk product, but I'm happy to help you build confidence in talking about the business opportunity. When people first show signs of interest of building a business, feel free to pull me in on a 3-way call, or Amanda, or your upline. Jessica, I know you're on the line, so I'm going to shut up for a minute. I've told everyone that your girls are starting school tomorrow, and you're so sweet to be on the line. And I think hubby's out of town, so I'm going to shut up and just let you talk.
I love hearing you. I'm like, coach me, please. Tell somebody, coach me. I love hearing you. And I got on and I was like, you probably saw my face. You guys were all like really serious and intently listening to me. And I was like, because I'm excited to be here. And we do have school. It's the first day, but the kids have not been going to bed like at a normal hour. So you can't like do 10:30 for like 3 months straight and then expect at 8:30. So they're all kind of awake, but I'm like, I'll be right back, I promise. But I'm smiling at you guys because I know all of you. I was like, I love that I know everybody on this call, and because sometimes I feel far connected, but I'm really not. And I know Amanda and I correspond very frequently. Basically it's every other day, right? And Melissa and I, we have always had just this incredible relationship since the first day in Suzanne's like family room.
Yeah.
We couldn't get enough of each other. And it's like you guys, it's like Melissa, when you find these people that you know are incredible, it's like, oh, you like want to just give them everything you can. And you and I were that way. So I remember sitting on the couches like, this girl is unbelievable. And I would text Amanda and be like, oh my gosh, she's so amazing. So I always want to support this team, and I'm so proud of what you guys are doing. And I have a couple things I do want to talk about. I wish I knew who the phone numbers were down here. So hi, everybody else who's on. I don't see your faces, so I don't know who you are, but I spent some time combing through your back office with Melissa last week. Just so you know, right, I busted out my laptop, I did a search, and I was like, talk to me about this person, this person, this person, this person. And she was just right there. And, we were both in our Rod Hairston yellow mode where we were just like getting it done. And we just, I wanted to push and paint vision. And what was so cool, Amanda, is like none of what I offered Melissa was new to her. Like you've coached her so well. It wasn't new. And she's so capable on her own that I think all I was a huge validator for her that you're doing things right. But I think the only thing she was surprised about was how impressed I was with her back office, like this team. I'm like, it is so strong. Like, so I go in and it's so lame, guys, but like one of the littlest things I do is I can look at how many zeros are on your first screen. Okay, so I love showing people all my zeros. So you pull up your team list, and all of my BV at the bottom are zeros. You know what I'm talking about? Some of you don't. Amanda probably doesn't. And Melissa, you didn't really. But like I was like, look at all my zeros. But underneath just those top 15 people that had a BV number on the right, you go deeper and you find like an Adrian Donovan who's got zeros at the bottom. And then you go into Aaron Brower and find numbers but zeros at the bottom, right? And so I showed that to Melissa. I'm like, I want you to see this. And so when I go into your accounts and I see that you have screenfuls of BVs and that, some of you have the zeros, I want you to know it's normal. It's what we're doing behind those BV numbers. Because if I'm only showing, guys, in my first center that cycles 600 times, I don't say that ever, please, ever, ever, ever to be pompous. I say that out of complete humility and gratitude. You've done this for me. It's your cycles. This is what you are doing for me. But when I'm in a center that cycles 500 to 600 times a week, and I have zeros at the bottom of that center, the message there is that I run with the runners. There's very few people on top that are running, but it's the names that you know. And then it's those next level beneath that have zeros also, that have BV. And then below that, there's some BV and zeros. Like that's what the entire company looks like. And I think we have one of the strongest organizations in the world. We do. But so when I'm talking to Melissa, I'm like, the next level of leadership, this is what we came out of this meeting with, I think the strongest. We focused on her time that she's going to be spending in Isogenics when baby comes and all that, and just some focus there. But then I think the majority of our talking was about all of you. And it was about the next level of leadership and all of those people behind the people that have BV, because you're only going to find 15 to 20 people that are ordering consistently. And think of it, guys. I've enrolled. I'm not a big enroller. I enroll one a week is my average for 4.5 years, almost 5 years. It's one a week. That's truly an average. It's been that way every year. My first year, I enrolled 51 people. And it's been that way ever since. And so when I look at that, say I've enrolled 250 people, and I only have, I don't know, I should count 15 that are actively freaking ordering. Guys, look at that. That's because those layers deep are duplicating. So I have, let's just call it out. I have a Delilah who has an Elizabeth, who has a Renee, who has a Brian, who has Amanda, who has a Melissa. And really in between all those names I just mentioned are 25,000 people. So I have to run with those 6 names that I just mentioned. Right? But I'm in a position when I see what this kind of team is doing and the leadership that you have. Are you kidding me? I'm going to get on a call with their top leaders, because Melissa's like, I'll execute this call. I want to have these talks with these guys. And because we have to get efficient and always be efficient with her time, because I'm all about efficiency, we got you in one place. She put this together so quick. You leaders showed up, right? The people who should be on here showed up tonight. And I know there's probably some people that have to see it after. But then you get your upline. I just got goosebumps. You get freaking Amanda Ham on the phone. I mean, I'm sitting here thinking, Amanda knows Amanda, don't blush. She's freaking brilliant at this.
Yeah.
She is so good at this. And there has not been a day in 3 years I don't tell her in every conversation. I'm like, you don't even know how good you are, right? And then that's like the fact that Melissa's your leader and she's got Amanda on the call, which I know she gives you guys so much. I'm like, yeah, why wouldn't I show up to that call? Please, can I? So I'm here, and that's a long way of telling you that you are our leaders. You are the next generation. So how lucky am I that, 7 levels deep, I have Jen Andrews duplicating a model that I did. Like how lucky I remember when you said Stacy, and I was like, oh my gosh, let's talk about her, right? Didn't I get excited? I'm like, I'm a freak right now. Like, what's going on with her? Because I know your names. I know all of you. And I've always been in touch with your leadership. So I've always known, like Elizabeth Lacconi has like always been really good about, hey, look out for this person, look out for this person. She's so good at that. And then I do. And then I notice your names, right? So I want you to know, Herb Cepeda knows a lot of your names, because we have to focus on those people, right? And we love everybody along the way and we bring them with us. You don't leave anyone behind. But I got really fierce with Melissa about she has no choice right now than to rise all of you up. I don't think she was ever not doing that, but I, with intention, want her to get you to the next level because we need you there. She's going to go. She's got stuff going on, yes, but until you become the teacher, your growth is going to stay here. You want to become the teacher. And I know Susan Miller says it every time, but I swear by it. And I tell the story every time. The day we let Amanda go was the day she started exploding. And she was shaking a little. She was a little nervous. But she was so capable. And it was so hard. But her business center is one of the strongest worldwide. And I don't know if you saw, many of you, I posted something the other day. I don't know, it was on one of the private pages, but Amanda, I think, was the 4th highest cycler in my organization. 4th freaking, guys, there's 68,000 people on my team. Amanda, your leader. Oh my, and I know she's, like, how did I do that, right? So your leadership is amazing. There, she's duplicating this business, and I'm so fortunate. And the least I can do is spend this time with you. But we've got to get you teaching. And Melissa, I feel like, and Amanda might agree, like I feel like you came out of the gate teaching. Like you came out of the gate as a leader. And I think Amanda and I kind of evolved into leadership. Like we had the ability, but we didn't really know how to lead. Like we didn't really take ownership that we could do this. And I think maybe given your profession and just who you are, like I think you were leading right out the gate. So you guys have a huge advantage there because she's just led you all along. But it is time for you really, truly to become the leaders. I mean, I want you to see yourselves as the Melissa and as the Amanda. Whoever you admire in your upline, if Susan Miller resonates with you, then see yourself as Susan Miller. I think there was one day that I finally looked at Patty Cepeda, who I compared myself to in my whole journey without any experience. And I kept thinking, but she's got 27 years of experience. Like, I'm never going to be able to get this like she has it. And I said that to myself for 2 years. Don't we do that? And then literally one day, no joke, guys, it's that moment. It's like that moment. I'm looking at her and I'm like, because Patty always made this very real. She's very authentic. She's always made it very real for me. But I was watching her present. She was spitting all over herself like she always does. And, and I thought, Jessica, why do you get this in your head that just because she's got all this experience that you can't do this too? Because she keeps saying anyone can do this. She keeps saying I can do it. She's like said it 300 times, but I think I literally just heard her for the first time. Like, I'm telling you, anyone can do this. If you've had success at anything in your life, which all of you have, why can't you have success here? And I remember thinking a couple things. I thought, well, she has 27 years of experience, but I don't have a colon. So I have something here. Patty has her colon. I don't have my colon, right? I have the equivalent story or life experience for Isogenics that Patty has in her 27 years. Why am I not using the life experience that I'm very familiar with that I need to show people? And it was like, if I wasn't afraid of sharing that with anyone. I just was undermining how significant that was to help me be successful here. And so that was one thing. And then I finally literally heard her say that I could do it too. Like she is just a human being. Guys, I'm just a human being. Like you would be, Melissa and I talk like friends having coffee. Like we're just such normal people that we just don't give up. Like I'm just very excited about this. And I want to say one more thing, and then I want to come back to you or Amanda or any of your leaders that have a question. I want to just talk to you about timing, because it's really here with me. It's timing that Amanda's having a baby. It's timing that Melissa's having a baby. It's timing that you've been well groomed. You've been well trained. You've been given every tool. These, you guys have every website. You know what? There's almost too many calls right now. There's so many calls, even corporate wide. And I did a 30-day game plan with some people last night, and I talked all about, like, I held my hands like this for half the call, and I'm like, laser focus. Get out of the distraction. There's a lot of calls. Pick what's working and go with it only. Don't do ISA Derby and Summit and, crystal bonuses and 3-star. Don't do all of it. Pick one and focus right now. You've got to be efficient. The more efficient, the better you are at Isagenics. It's just how it is. And so I talked like this on the call. I'm like, laser focus, eliminate distraction. Ask yourself if it's income producing. So this level of leadership, guys, you guys need to be running your own morning calls. I mean, every one of you could be doing that right now. And I know this because when we went through, I knew what you were capable of. You could do that, but we only have so many places to talk, right? And so, as your leaders try to rise you up, it's just the model that we've created with the blessing of Susan Miller, who's brilliant at rising people up. And so, in your own capacity, that means lead your own 3 ways. If you don't have team calls you're leading, I don't recommend everybody do more team calls. We don't need any more calls, right? Some of you have big enough teams that you can do that, but maybe it's just leading your own 3 ways. You be the one doing the 3 ways, right? And you guys are in a leadership position to start training your people to do their own 3 ways. Right? Jenna Mayer is barely a director and barely a 1-star, and she does 3 ways like crazy for everybody. She just keeps learning and engaging. The girl's about to blow up because she finally found her runner. It's just one example. She waited 1.5 years and finally found her runner, and now she's going to blow up. But she's been so consistent, and so it's all of that. But timing. Let's talk about that. Let's rise you up. Do your own 3 ways. I don't think you're ready to run your own threads. I don't know, some of you might be. That's up to you and Melissa to decide. As far as I would say, there's a lot of threads out there too, right? Like we all had to scale down a little bit last year. I really do believe this 90-day game plan, that's such a corporate word. Sometimes I'm like, bleh, why do they call it that? Let's think of something cool. But I really believe this one and the next one are the most significant company-wide, worldwide ever. And I have been an entrepreneur, and I've had the blessing of going through some momentum with other companies. I got goosebumps just now when I said this. It is so exciting. It is so, it's explosive. And you aren't going to believe. I mean, I know that there was a day where Amanda's like, how am I cycling like this? Where are they coming from? Like, where are they coming from? Like, because until 5-star, you know where every single BV comes from. And then after that, you just can't possibly keep up with it. Like, you can't believe your team 4 levels deep is doing this. And so we're just so grateful for every single cycle that goes in. But I'll tell you, these next, call it 90 days, and then I believe, me personally, as a personal opinion, I believe the next 90 days, so basically the next 6 months, I believe is the most significant that we will ever experience. So I believe that right now, your foundation is the most important thing to build. And I wouldn't hold anything back right now. Hold nothing back. And I love, Melissa, what you said. It was something I'd love to piggyback and validate. I can tell you at 18 months exactly when my business changed. And it is when I started to just insert, as weird as it felt, every time the money opportunity. I inserted it somehow. with like thinking everyone would say no or that's weird, I still just forced it. That was a big growing spot for me. It was awkward. It was weird, but it quadrupled our income. I believe so much of it has to do with that. The fact that I started to insert the money, because you've heard me say before, no, GREAT, but thank you very much for us. Thank you. Thanks for writing it on a Post-it and not trying to bother me. That was sweet. It's life, right? All right. So timing, I'm trying to get laser focused myself. And so I tried to get this whole group laser focused last night, like eliminate all the distraction. Ask yourself all the time, is it income producing? Is this income producing? Right? You're going to find yourself, God bless you. You're going to find yourself eliminating some of the distractions. It's so easy to go on Facebook, just as an example, with an income producing intent, and you do that for 10 minutes, and then you find yourself a half hour later still on this dang phone. It's not income producing at that point. And so you put it down and you go focus on the income production. I want you doing in 2 hours a day what most people do in 8 hours a day. I just want you to be so laser focused, and it's going to mean leaving a couple people behind. And it's going to mean Melissa telling some of her leaders, it's not sink or swim, because that's so mean, but it's like, it's time for you to step up. Like the company, the team, it's time for you to step up now. You become the next generation for us. And so I can tell you this with full confidence. This is a team that can do it. I can't get on the phone with some teams and say, it's time. Now you're at the level, you have the leadership, you have the support, you're a great organization, you have the upline. Like, you guys have everything you need to be amazing. And I can't say that to every group. So you see it yourselves, and you're starting to see these little pockets of people form. I mean, even Christine, right? We went through Christine and what she's doing. I'm like, okay, how do we laser focus Christine, right? We're all at different points in our life and our business. Some of us are heavy enrollers. Some of us are developers. Some of us are recruiters. Some of us are connectors. But we just embrace whatever it is and laser focus in on that and make it happen. So I think this is the time, guys. Who gives a crap? This is network marketing. Who gives a crap? Are you kidding me? We're making this industry look really dang sexy right now. We have people following us that have had a lot of success in their life that are going, that can't be too bad. If Amanda Ham chose it, if Melissa Hinault chooses it, if Jessica Johnston chose it, Renee Schreibman chose it, why can't I choose it? We're shifting that. Rodan and Fields is helping us shift the mentality of network marketing. They're making it look sexy and fun and something that people want to be a part of. They're helping us. We never want to do their comp plan. Can you imagine doing 8 teams, guys? Can you imagine doing 8 teams? Are you kidding me? And putting all that chemicals in? I mean, it works, but it's so that's where we are. But as soon as we own the sexy in this industry, as soon as we own that we are strong and mighty women entrepreneurs, to whatever point, men too, some of you might be men too, like the men too, as soon as you own this, you guys know that any man that owns this does very well. If you look at David Norrie, if you look at Herb Cepeda, right, you look at Chris Harder, Link Kaiser, right, you look at these men that own this as their profession, they do very well. So the sooner that we own it, the sooner everybody else owns it. And you're going to have a group of people like yourself. I just can't imagine. We work with incredible people every day, don't we? And you're going to continue to attract that. So I just don't think right now, you can't care what people think. You can't hesitate. You throw it out there. You will never know. I know you already know this. You never know who's going to pop up. And it's always the people that you don't expect. And this is 5 years. I'm still saying it. It's all, I have to tell myself, like, I go to prejudge and I'm like, they're going to end up being amazing because I didn't even want to talk to them about it, right? Like, that's the one you got to go talk to, is the one that you thought wouldn't be good. They're going to be amazing. But as soon as, piggybacking Melissa, as soon as you give people this loving, warm platform to talk about money, they will open up. It might not be immediate. it might still be uncomfortable for them. But over time, they start to open up about how much they want or need the money. And then they evolve, right? We all did. We kind of evolved to this. Some of us own the money right away. Some of us didn't. But then you evolve into the fact, who cares that it's direct sales? Think about a different way. Be open to a different way of making money right now. This is a fun way. It is a flexible way. We can be home with our babies, or we can do a job and still do this and make six figures. True stories, all of it. So I feel like one of the most fortunate people on the planet, that one of my top leaders on my focus leg is Amanda Ham. Doesn't everyone want an Amanda Ham on their focus leg? Like, so think of having an Amanda Ham on your focus leg. So, and if I'm Amanda, think of having a Melissa Hanault on your focus leg, right? For placement and whatever the placement is, right? Wouldn't you all want that? I will always come from that place of, how freaking lucky am I that someone told someone. Thank God that whole line of people took the 10 seconds to introduce the next person. And you know what? There's a lot of weeds in there, and then people coming and returning and not showing up and then leaving the company, whatever, all that stuff happens. But thank God those 6 or 7 are here. Are you kidding? So that's all coming for you. And the truth is, it's going to happen faster because the timing of the company. It is going to happen faster. You guys are going to go 5-star and 6-star and 7-star faster than I did it, because no one knew what Isogenics was 4 years ago. No one. I had to tell everybody. It took 3 extra conversations about what this was. You guys are in a great position. People know about Isogenics now. It's taking less conversation. Amanda will agree, I know. It takes less conversation now to get someone to say yes, because more people know about this, and they're coming on to this theory of network marketing, direct sales. I call it direct marketing now. Like, that's kind of a cool name for it, right? Kathy Coover calls it direct sales. That's just where she's most comfortable. I think that's cool. I'll use that. You know, if Kathy Coover can own direct sales, I can own direct sales. Like, who am I? Like, better than that I can't own this? So that's where I stand in all this. Run. Like, right now, run 6 months. I believe the next 6 months it's going to change your life. Whatever you do the next 6 months is going to set up your business forever. I really think it's right now. And if I'm wrong, that's a good thing. Because if it takes longer, that's longer we have to set it up, right? If it takes longer, I don't think it will. I think this company by March will be in full-blown momentum. And some of you are going to double, triple, quadruple your income in that year. That's just what's going to happen. So wouldn't you rather have 200 people now than have 50? You know, or if you have 1,000 now, wouldn't you rather have 2,000 before momentum comes? You know, you want this foundation built. You are building your foundation aggressively, and then you're going to run with your runners. And the bigger you guys get, because you're just going there, just receive this, please. The bigger you get, the more you can only focus on the people that want it. It's just what it is, but it makes you better at this. So, Melissa, that closing comment was really long. And my kids are perfectly fine and not fighting with each other. What is in your hair? What is in your hair? What is in her hair? Jordan cracked an egg on her head. Did you film that? Was it-
Okay, you.
There's an egg on her head. Was that a dare somebody made you do? You really did it? Is it funny? Holy crap. Where did you do that in my house? In your bathroom. Did you clean up the egg? It's all over you. Can you go wash yourself? I love you. You look great. Please take a picture. Okay, guys. Real life. Right here. Thank God I prepped him earlier that I had some men and women I wanted to inspire tonight as best I could. And I told him we would say our prayers tonight, and that I needed to speak into some people a little bit tonight. So, Melissa, are these guys, they hear me, I know, and they're not hearing anything new. I'm just validating what you've probably told them already, and that it doesn't change in 5 years. We're still doing U+2, guys. It's still U+2. Melissa, are they receiving? What is a really important message for them to hear maybe from me?
Well, I think you nailed it, Jessica. I love that you just the opportunity talking about the momentum, but then also just reiterating. I think it's good for the team to hear that you felt weird inserting the business opportunity too, but that you saw that when you got uncomfortable and you did that, that's when you saw your business take off. I think that's something that Amanda and I have been back and forth about with where's the gap with our team. They have such strong business centers. How can we get them to the next level? We want everyone on this line 3-4 star. We want everybody in Hawaii. We think Jen's hitting Hawaii this week. I think you didn't hear that earlier because you weren't on the live.
So amazing.
But I think that for them to hear you say that maybe you struggled with it, but when you finally owned it, and talked about it, that's when you saw your business take off. I think that's really powerful for the team.
This is me, Melissa. I'm like, yeah, we're going to get your sexy back. And yeah, if you ever, want to consider this as an income opportunity, then I'm going to be here to talk about that too. Like, that's what I would do. It's the same thing when they ask how much a value pack is. And I'm like, it's going to be about 600. And I'm like, I literally have to do this because it hurts to say it, but then I'm like, don't talk, right? And I'm like, oh, right? It's so true. So here's the thing, like, you will eventually get so good at that part that it's easy now. Like, I'm like, look, people are making a killing at this. If you're going to love the product. If you ever want to explore this for income, I know it sounds crazy, but people are making a killing, and I'm glad to show you that. But don't feel like that's something you have to do up front. Guys, seed planted. That's all you have to do. And I'm completely sincere. Like, people are making a killing. If you ever want to know that part, I want to share it with you, but we do not have to talk about that today. Some say right away, yes, I'd love to hear about the money, right? The others go to work. They're miserable. 3 days later, they're like, they can't pay a bill. The car breaks down, whatever. And they're like, what about that income opportunity? It's no different when you plant a seed about the product with people. That's where we're most comfortable. Like, remember how you had to get like uncomfortable to plant the product seed with people? Right? And then we got over that. Now we're really good at it. We're like, I love this product. It's awesome. I'm so strong. Blah, 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 right? And now we're good. Well, you've got to go through the same growth with the income up. You have to say, I'm willing to get uncomfortable for a few minutes and have the same 2 or 3 sayings each time you say it to people. Be sincere, be authentic, and put the freaking phone away like this if you have to, but just to show, just get it out of your mouth. Like, I would hear Patty do it, and I'm like, ooh, she's so good at that. But then I'm like, you sound the same way, Jessica. You just feel weird. So you sound the same way. So when I hear Melissa say, there's an income opportunity here, I'm like, well, that was easy coming out of her mouth. It just rolled right off her tongue. I mean, you guys sound that good. It's that easy coming off. Other people, we just feel weird. We feel weird. Mm-hmm. But it sounds normal when she says it. Yeah. So, I do suggest, get ready to own this thing. It's right now is the time to do it. And I remember saying to myself, I was sitting in the same seat, and I remember going, I'm going to do this for 2 months. She says it all the time, that if you don't talk about the business, you have no business, right? I remember being like, why does she keep saying that, right? Like, I love this product. I was product for 18 months, barely inserting the business, right? Uncomfortably. At 18 months, guys, it took me. And I went, I'm going to do this for 2 months because I want more from this. And I did. I could not believe the amount of people that wanted to know about the money. And let me be truthful, I was almost offended because I lost my colon. And this product changed my life. And all I talked about was how this product changed my life for 1.5 years. And then when I started to talk about the money and people wanted to know about the money, I was like, they don't care about their health. Like, ooh, what's up with that? Like, it was so weird to me that some people wanted the money before the health. Like, that was foreign to me. It's just my story. I was here for the health. It was foreign to me. And so when people were like, thank you, Jenna. She just brought me a cleanse. I need 2 though, and 2 flush. 2 flush too. So, that day, and it did, I would tell you truthfully, about 80% of the people, if not immediately in a very short window, week or 2, came to learn about the money. And true story, I can say it on this team. I can't do this with everybody, but my first 1099 said $86,000. My second 1099, I started talking about the business. It was $453,000. No joke. What the freak? Third one, $972,000. Guys, this is going to pay you. Keep your heart in it. Be authentic. Be so real. If you have to say, this is really uncomfortable for me, but there's a money opportunity. And if you ever want to do that, I'll show you. Like, I wasn't planning on bringing that up with you today, but I think it's important that I show you, because I don't know where you are in your life as far as what you want for your income, right? And now I get an Uber car and I'm like, dude, you want to make more money? Like, literally, that's how I do it now, right? So that part's really easy. But it was it was a growth spurt. Lisa Cook she'll tell you the same thing. She'll tell you the same thing. When I actually applied what Patty and Herb said, my business quadrupled. It's just amazing. It's really magical. So I'd say give it a shot. This is not going, thank you, Jenna, but this is not going down right now. Thank you. She brought me an e-shot. This is my love language right here, but not at 9:56 at night. You're so cute. I love you guys. I hope this helped a little bit. When I talk to leaders, like David Wood is like, it's so hard to train leaders. Like, I feel like him right now. Like, it's so hard to train you guys who already get it and already have it. I just feel like I'm validating what's next, and it's two things. I mean, it's you guys rising up and becoming the teacher, and it's, take a hard look at this timing right now, and don't be afraid to talk about the income. It's those two things. So if you can focus on two things, focus on right now. Susan Miller said it the other day. She said, we've proven ourselves as a product company. Now we have every right to prove ourselves as a comp plan, as an income opportunity for people. Now is the shift. And she knows, guys, now is the shift. And Herb and her are like, these people have no clue what's coming. They have no idea. I'll message Herb I got this guy, he put 52 people in, by the way, in 3 weeks. One guy, 52 people in three weeks. And I was busy and on a Disney cruise, like trying to put people in the system. It was fun. And so he did that. And Herb was so funny. He's like, here we go. Because he feels the start of that kind of shift coming. He's like, here we go. Like, to Herb, he was just expecting it. I've been waiting for Jessica to call me something like this. I got 52 people to put it in. What the hell? Do I stack them in executive? What do I do? I didn't even know what to do. I'm like, I don't know what to do with 52 people. Right? So I'm still getting that. But he was like, here we go. This is just the start of this rev up. So I get to witness this with you guys. We are gonna make in history together. We're going to look back and say we rode the Isogenics momentum wave together. And we're going to have gorgeous, beautiful, not big, it doesn't have to be big, but quality home and 3-month beach trips and nice, humble cars, modest cars, and just love what we have. But we'll be able to do that. And our kids are going to go to nice colleges, and then they're going to get paid too when people eat chocolate decadence bars in 30 years. Our kids are still going to make money. Like, we're so lucky. There's never going to be another time and opportunity than right now. I know it. You will not see me go anywhere for the next 10 years, because we are going to have hundreds of thousands of people that join this team. Oh, bam. I'm getting fired up. I love you guys. I hope this helped a little bit. And I thank you. I'm honored that you asked me, Melissa. Honestly, it feels good to be invited sometimes.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Jessica.
Kick butt. Melissa, keep me posted. Send me these guys. I watch you on some of your pages and what you're doing, and we can tell you're rising. We could tell early on who was rising up as a leader, who was in income producing mode, and let's run. Let's just run. Give it a season. Guys. I ask you what Herb Cepeda asked me in 2012. 2012, he said, give me 6 months, Jessica. He knew that if I would do something for 6 months, he knew it was going to change my life. I didn't, but I could give him 6 months. I didn't have anything to give, but who can't give 6 months, right? I'm asking all of you, give me 6 months. The next 6 months are going to change your life. Do not give up. Go all in. Love you.
Oh, no. Thank you, Jessica.
Hey, can we smile, guys? Oh, she's gone.
Just kidding.
She's awesome.
We can smile, right?
Yeah.
Ready? 1, 2, 3, cheese.
Oh, are you taking pictures?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I tried to do it before Jess bailed, but I wasn't fast enough.
Oh,
Right.
Awesome. Gosh, I hope she spoke to you guys. Amanda, I don't know if you have anything additional that you want to comment on that. I know I got a chance to kind of reinforce what I thought Jessica said that was really important, but is there anything that you wanted to add?
no, I think that we had intentions for this to not be as long, but Jessica had amazing shares. We just thought she had 5 minutes to share, and that turned into 25 minutes. So we are really appreciative of your time, you guys, because I know this is like kind of a late call right now. Melissa, I know you want to wrap up the call, but really quick, I just want to say like 2 things. One is, and this is what they said at the fast track call tonight, is how you show up is how you go up. Right? And so when I say that, I mean, your engagement is going to be your team's engagement. So the more that you guys can speak up on our threads, you speak up on our Residual Rockstar business page, the more you guys make it a priority to tag your team on things and they see that you're in the know, even if it means you're checking once a day, just remember, the more that you show up, the more they're going to show up. So that's like a big, big important thing, is to be engaged. You deserve it, and so does your team, especially if you want to be a leader. So that's a huge thing. I know that we're talking about, Melissa and I, really going through your back office, and there's different reports that we want to talk to you guys about that you can really acknowledging your team and good things they're doing is so huge. You guys are all really good at that. Like whoever got 5-cycle bonus, or who got double PIB, or who is eligible for double PIB. I've been doing that a lot lately, but you guys also have access to doing that. Celebrate people's successes, because people like to be recognized. I like it. Everyone likes to be recognized. So that's all a part of the team engagement. That's so critical, so freaking critical. So show up, really identify gaps with your team and help them, like Jessica said, run with the runners. That's what this is all about. We can't want it more than someone else does. So stop putting all your eggs in one basket, move on and find new people, but run with those people that are giving you that are reciprocating. So that's kind of my shares. I do think it's really important to do a vision board. And if I could say like my action item, like I'm working on it right now, I do it every year. I take it really seriously as I put together a vision board on what I want my business to look like, what I want my personal life to look like, my faith, my house. See that every day. And if you guys are like in it, like I think you are, do a vision board in this next week. Let's post it on our Residual Rockstars page. Let's be leaders. Let's show our team that we're taking it a step above and beyond. It does start with setting your goals. So I'm going to shut up now. Melissa, I know you want to wrap up the call.
Yes, no, awesome. I love it. And I'm with you, Amanda. Actually, I need to put together a brand new vision board because every year, the whys change and your visions change a little bit. So that's a really good point. I'm going to wrap up with, I know we covered a lot of information, but I wanted to wrap up with some calls to action. And these are just some items, I think, out of everything that we discussed that we'd love to move forward with you guys if you're up for it. So one of them I highlighted earlier, and that is reviewing your 90-day game plan with your upline, whether it's me or it's Amanda or it's Jen or it's Andrea, whoever your upline is, reviewing your 90-day game plan with them and then duplicating that back down with your team. Engaging with them, knowing what drives them, and being able to support them and motivate them. The number two action item is to take action and get out of your comfort zone. So one of the things, I'm not sure if Beth is on right now or not, but we were going back and forth earlier today about two budding managers on her team. And I challenged her. I said, look, I'd love to hear your voice on the Get call on Monday morning. I would love to hear you, recognize what your team is doing. Your team wants to hear your voice. So do something to get uncomfortable, whether it's recognizing your team on one of the calls, recognizing teams' achievements, learning something new about network marketing that was really profound to you and sharing it on Residual Rockstars with the group. Volunteering to do 3-ways for new team members. So just get out of your comfort zone and get uncomfortable. Lead with the business. Talk about the business. So those are just some ideas on how to get uncomfortable. I'm sure you guys can come up with a million. Number 3, streamline and commit to engagement with your teams and biz. And this was something Amanda talked about with just come up with a process for yourself with checking pages. Many of you work full-time. And, for me, I have a process. I check Messenger probably 2 to 3 times a day. I check the pages once a day. I look for places that I need to tag. Own it. You don't have to get in there and spend hours, but have a process and commit to it, to be present and engaged. Number 4, talk more biz. So that could actually go back to the getting out of your comfort zone. The last thing I want to land on is a monthly leadership call. This is something that Amanda and I discussed that I think really is going to create a cohesive group where you guys can really learn from each other. And we want to hear from you, the topics that you want to hear and discuss on the call, but we're thinking about doing a monthly call for like 30 minutes. I may lead the first call in a month or 6 weeks whenever I have my wits about me. Amanda will be pushing out her baby. And I think what we foresee is over time, you guys take in turn leading the calls. We're rising you up as leaders, and we want this to be a cohesive group of leaders that totally maxes out Amanda's business center next year. And we're going to do that through leadership and taking turns identifying what are some gaps that we all need to learn and we can discuss. Let's celebrate as a small team of leaders. So that's to come, and to talk about best practices. So just something to keep us close together and, a cohesive group, and maybe even some recognition. Maybe we'll look at the folks who have maybe the highest rank advancements with their teams for the month, or who's created the most consultants, things that are relative to leadership specifically. So we'd love to hear you guys commit to that, but that's what we foresee moving forward. And that's it. I guess I'll just land on, you guys are badasses, and it's time to step up and just pave the way, because your teams are waiting and following you. And the quicker you step up and lead the way, the faster your business is going to grow. And that goes back to Jessica's comment around the next 6 months. If you're going to if you're going to build ferociously and fiercely fast, right now is the time to do it. And we can all look back 6 months from now and sip our pina coladas in Hawaii and talk about what an awesome ride it was. Every single one of you on the call can do it. So that's it. I know it was a really long call, but
yeah, they won't be this long, promise, in the future. They won't. Sorry, guys. But I'm fired up. I hope you guys are. And let's cheer Melissa on and hope that she has her baby soon. Maybe it's tonight. Who knows?
Go, Mama, go.
All right. And Melissa, I'm giving you your reminder to save this recording.
Yes. Thank you.
All right. Love you guys so much.
Good
Bye.
night.